rode out from Restov with a charter in hand, looking for a future in the stolen lands. Let every tavern sing, the stolen lands have found their king. Whoa, raise the banner high.
What you remember last was, if anything, that you were doing.
We left Bryn in charge. She's mayor now. And then I left some lizard folk around to help guard Windridge. And then I think we were leaving that was the end of game.
Okay. So this would have been before the troll fortress, I believe.
That sounds like after the troll fortress.
Yeah.
I think
Oh, okay,
That
right
was
after.
after-
Right after, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, got you. So you knew about the resolution of the whole troll fortress. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
so
that's
you
how
only-
we got to Windridge. We chased the last trolls into Windridge or something like that.
Yeah, so in just trying to recall then what might have been missed. I know last session for sure, which was a lot of kingdom activity. I'm just trying to remember
Okay.
if there was anything before that you might have missed. I'm just looking through. Yeah, I don't have anything. That would have been the December 9th actually, according to this. So we've only
Oh.
played once since December 9th.
I know
Yeah,
I did game.
yeah. So that's it. So we've only missed the one session, and so that'll be easy. All right. So maybe you guys want to talk a little bit about what happened last time we met when you returned to Stagfall and did a whole bunch of all kinds of rulings and there was a council meeting, I should say. I'm trying to find my.
Oh.
I know we named a whole bunch of new people to things, and I'm king.
Yeah, there's about that. Yeah, and King.
Detail.
You all received a crown that was gifted to
Yeah.
you. It was crafted in Restov, and it was a gift from Lady Jamandi and the powers that be in Restov to the future king. And so you all held a vote, and everybody in the council voted, and it was very close. I will say it's very close, but Dallett did end up winning. So it was a one vote difference, basically. And yeah, what else happened that you all did? I'm trying to remember.
Oh, there's a whole bunch more people on the council now.
Yeah.
There's a kobold on the council. There's we got a lizard folk on the council.
Yeah, this is the latest view, I think, of the, let's see, council. So we have our crowned. Oh, actually, I have to move this.
Where did these guys come from? Did Lady Jumanji supply them or something?
A mixture. I think, as far as we know, the only person that didn't Tartuccio introduce the marshal guy, or I can't remember.
The marshal was introduced by, I'm trying to remember right now who. So the high priestess was basically there because she's very popular with the people. So she's been appointed high priestess. Tartuccio was there as the magister. Vitali was there. I think Vitali is the one that he introduced the marshal, and
Okay.
then the marshal introduced the one you were just asking about, the quartermaster, I think, or something along those lines. Yeah, I don't believe that that Tartuccio appointed any of these.
Okay.
And let's see, the emissary is actually a part of Sydney's
Clayton.
spy
Sid
network, and so Sydney in some respects has 2 votes on the council, which is kind of interesting. So you've got that dynamic, and then the quartermaster was appointed as a lizard folk. Yeah, the viceroy is your kobold, and yeah, I think the rest of these. So I don't know that. Yeah, there's no real suspicion or drama among this group during the council meeting, but there were several votes taken. Basically, you filled out the whole rest of the council was the first part of the meeting, and then I think the second part of the meeting you went through a list of spending funds on different initiatives in your kingdom, and that's where the map will probably be really helpful here. Let me bring us to the map.
Yeah, we had a list of things we decided on that we were going to spend our funds on.
So some of those things were, I think, completing road improvements. That was one thing that was done. The kobolds asked for their own dedicated safe lands that they could have within the boundaries of Valeriana, and they were given this tract of land here to pretty much between the Sootscale mine and the old Sycamore is now the kobold lands, and they are of course allies of yours. But you noticed upon returning to Stagfall that the numbers of kobolds had fallen quite a bit, and it was decided that they would probably be more comfortable and be able to grow their numbers if they were given this territory. So that was one of the other initiatives that was voted on. I think the very first initiative, if I'm not mistaken, though, was to send aid and supply to Windridge to further help them rebuild. So I know there were probably a handful of other votes that I'm forgetting. Let's see.
Were you showing something on the map? Because I've just got a black screen there.
No, let's see. Oh, where is it?
Maybe scroll around a bit. Oh, no, I get it. No.
Now I can see, yeah.
Sorry, it was the token. I switched it.
So where's the Kobold homeland, whatever?
This is the Kobold lands here.
Right.
It's between the Sootscale mine and the old Sycamore.
Oh, yeah, our old stomping grounds. Okay.
Yep. And so they're happy about that. I think the other thing that you had learned about was there are bandits that seem to be using the southern bridge as their stopping point for travelers, and so that's reached, some rumors of that have reached you as well. In Stagfall, there was a silver mine that was discovered just east of your territory into the mountainside here along the subsidiary of the Shrike River here. So that was another thing that was discussed about putting together a small group to go start investigating that mine and see just how much potentially that could benefit your kingdom. So I think those were some of the things. Is there anything else, guys, that you remember that we voted on in the council meeting, or that you want to mention about the lay of the land?
We might have pissed off some merchants by forcing them to move away from the town.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. We were doing some reconfiguring of the streets and the usage of the town.
And that reminds me, the biggest expense that you actually voted for was proposed by the High Priestess to build basically a shelter, a better shelter area in the heart of, in one of the prime areas where these merchants were operating. So the merchants got pushed out, and now this sort of residence shelter area is getting moved in, and you guys are putting a lot of money towards that, and may have upset a few of the merchants who don't like the change. So those were a couple of things that were happening closer to home in Stagfall. I think you had learned that there were a number of craftsmen who moved in. Your population had grown. It's swollen up quite a bit, but people were building in the outskirts of Stagfall, and I think your decision was to try to rein them all in and get everybody a little bit more central for safety and security. That was another part of the discussion. Ultimately, after all of the council meeting and decisions were made and tax policies were implemented and everything else, you guys moved out of town. I think that the group decided to head east, if I'm not mistaken. So if that's still the case or not, we can always retcon that. You were just giving me the general direction of what you were thinking, and that was to head east. So give you guys a chance to digest some of this or ask any other questions you might have.
I believe the plan was to go to Restov and see if we could get better gear or anything that we.
Oh yes, we distributed goodies.
Yeah.
Joe, you have just a second. Loot. You have 296 gold.
Good. I need that. Crafting snares is so expensive. But okay, yeah, 295. Got it.
296 gold, 5 silver, and 3 copper. You also, if you're interested in it, we had it in the loot pile. It was an unidentified item. It's the Amulet of the Mole, which gives a burrow speed of 10 feet. And we asked Jamie, and he said Easton can wear that. I don't know if you want Easton to have a burrow speed.
It's burrow speed of 10 feet?
Of 10 feet. So he could lay an ambush. He could dig a hole and jump
No, I
somebody
love
from
it.
a
That
hole.
sounds great. We'll give that to Easton. Good idea, guys. I love it.
And then another item that we as a group need to identify a home for is a Bracelet of Fortune, which is basically like an additional hero point. That should be on somebody at some point. We did not assign that to anybody, but now that everyone's here, that is worth a discussion.
Yeah, we don't want that one to get forgotten and lost in a pile somewhere.
No, but
Yeah,
I'm assuming you're gonna take the Amulet of the Mole for Eastern. Does that sound good to you?
Yes, he'll have a new collar.
Yeah.
Fancy.
There you go. So I am
I was
deleting
thinking
those
with
off,
the
off
what was
party
the
list.
second thing? What's that called?
The Bracelet of Fortune, and
The Bracelet
it is
of Fortune.
essentially a 1 reroll on a d20. Basically, it's another hero point.
I say we
that
just
is-
pass it
nobody has
around
gotten
every session. We decide who's got it.
That might be something that has to be invested.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, that's right.
So I don't know. We don't necessarily have to decide that this moment, but probably worth figuring out at some point this session.
Yeah, maybe you guys can start tracking who uses most hero points, and then that'll be the person that should.
Let's wait till the first couple rolls of the game, find out who's doing the crappiest, and he.
Yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen. Is whoever starts cold today is ending up with this amulet or bracelet. Yeah.
Whoever has the best actual result from their hero point.
Yeah.
There we go.
Whoever actually gets the.
That might be the way. Whoever uses up a hero point might need another one. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So, yeah. So I think that was the reasoning there, is that you all wanted to upgrade equipment, have better access to training and spells, maybe check in on Restov and see how things are going. There's always rumors floating around about Restov. So I believe, Sydney, your spies are working on something, or let me rephrase. What are your spies currently
There you go.
working on?
Yeah, I wrote it down. The emissary of the council, that particular spy, she is making contact with the druids of the Narmarsh. And then the other two, one of them is trying to infiltrate / join the pickpocket ring, and the other one was trying to join or infiltrate the river smuggling ring. And if those end up being the same ring, I guess both of them are trying to get in. Importantly, we are not watching Tartuccio anymore, nor are any of them in Restov now. Since we were going to go to Restov, I figured we could just talk to Lady Jumanji ourselves. We don't need to send the emissary.
Yeah, and worth mentioning was that you had, I believe, learned also from your spies that Tartuccio had a relationship with a couple of the merchants that seemed interesting.
Yes, I can fill us in on that. I took notes. 1 second. Let me get.
That doesn't surprise me.
No. In fact, all of the important merchants, for what it's worth.
All of them. Okay.
Basically, let's see here. Dun, 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 dun. Where did I write those? No.
I'm gonna make a couple rolls while he's checking the notes, and then I'll get you guys a couple of events that we can talk about on your way here as you're heading east on the road. I don't believe you took horses, or did you? I don't remember.
I don't know that we
talking
necessarily stated that.
Would you have, or it's fine by me? I just that will dictate the
I think
speed.
I would
we
assume
want to
that
be
we
traveling quicker.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the merchants of the oddity shop, the head armorer, and the head weaponsmith. We've also discovered that there is a probable alliance between the cult of Ugathoa, the nation of Pentax, House Sertova, and Tartuccio may or may not be involved in some way with that. That's actually the big thing that we need to talk to Lady Shimunji about. And then also just a heads up to throw it on your radar again, Jamie. We talked about it last session, but I am going to try to make contact with my former employer when we get to Restov about the Ugathoan cult. I'm assuming that he's cool with me bringing the party. I will bring the party for that. But if our relationship is such that it should just be a one-on-one, I'll do it one-on-one and split the party. However you want to run that scene.
Okay. No problem. All right. Was there any, I think, yeah, the other thing, like you said, you didn't send an emissary or a messenger to Restov since you were all heading that way. You figured you would just announce it yourself when you got there. So
yes,
that's part of the plan, I believe.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so you guys had left Restov, or had left Stagfall on horseback and started heading eastward. I believe this would have been the following morning after the council meeting, unless there was another day or two that passed there. I'm forgetting, but it's something like that. So where we would have left off, it's about halfway in between of Novotkas Crossing and Stagfall at the end of last session, where you all would have been in camp. And that's probably where we could go ahead and hand wave it to the morning. But there's a couple of things that I want you guys to roll just to fill in some of the context during travel. So if you could do, I believe it's perception, and then one of the groups that you passed on your way also, okay, yeah, so one of the groups that you had passed on your way the day before, there you go, was traveling towards Stagfall, and they appeared to have some sick people that they were transporting aboard a wagon, and you didn't really get a chance to stop and talk with them much, but they did mention to you that they had come from Novotkas Crossing and were originally from Restov, and that they were seeking some medicines and cure for their friend. So they were moving pretty quickly and went by, but they seemed to be from Restov, and it checked out as far as that interaction on the road was concerned. So the following morning, when you all awaken, you could go ahead at this point and be able to pick right back up on the trail. But one of the things you noticed, and you start to notice more on this particular day, while you're maybe a few hours into travel on this road along the river, is that there's a lot of fields that were farms to the north in Brevoy, that several of them look like they're just dried up, dusted up, and even from a distance you can kind of see some of these lush areas that used to be pretty well known in Brevoy look like they're dry. And it's, again, from far away, like, I think that it makes you feel like there's some kind of drought or something going on right now as you're heading eastward.
Jamie, I didn't want to interrupt you in there, but you said we got to the end of the first day of travel.
Yep. So
I would like to spend a little bit of downtime in camp to try and learn a spell.
Okay. Yep.
From a scroll that I have.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I got a scroll. Oops. Oh, that's the one to buy this.
Really, this would have been like the first rest that you would have all taken after leveling up as well. So if there's anything else anyone's trying to finish up with their training or feats or anything,
okay,
feel free.
Let me get my DC real quick.
I'll say that Rekla just picked up mastery in medicine, so as a ward medic he can treat up to 4 targets at once.
Damn. There you go.
Nice.
I feel like he would have tried to help that passing group of travelers that were sick with that ability.
Oh, okay. Sure. You want to give that a roll, and we'll see if you were able to help in any way while you... offered them. Yeah, so I would say that what you ended up doing would have been treating disease on these two injured looking humans, and I think that you would have helped to improve their condition to stabilize them somewhat with that role. So definitely seems to be though that they were experiencing some kind of like sickness, poison related or disease related that
Right.
seems to be hurting them. And so yeah, they're still like gonna go forward to Stagfall at least and see if there's something else there, but seem kind of desperate for help, so they'll take whatever help they can get. All
I
right.
need for my learn, I am trying to learn a fly scroll that we picked up, and I am trying to learn that spell from the scroll. I need a 29, and I have +1 on this because I'll give myself guidance.
Oh, okay. There you go. Excellent. All right.
Sweet. Cool. I didn't think that was going to be successful. I needed a, I only had a 25% chance at that. Cool.
Nice.
So, a couple of things I was going to give you as well. Now that we've kind of retroactively aided that group, they will be able to share some rumors with you. And we'll see if these rumors are working or not. First, the weather is windy. So it sounds like a windstorm's blowing in. Maybe that's exactly why you can see in the distance the dust blowing on these farms, is that the wind is coming in, and maybe that would be potentially making it difficult for you all to travel. But one of the things that you've heard about as far as a rumor from these folks is that there is a clan of centaurs and an old cyclops graveyard that's said to have some ghosts in it.
Oh, I
So
vaguely remember them talking about a haunted graveyard not too long ago.
yeah, so it's a valley to the south, and
That's a different one. The other one was to the north. So we've got
yeah, that's what they're
dead
telling.
to the
Well,
north,
that's what
dead
this
to the
group's
south.
telling you. Yeah, I think you've heard a couple different things. But the centaurs you heard about before were up here, and these ones I'll move onto the map are in the south, so more like towards Dunsward. But yeah, you learned about that as well, and then the state of Restov that you learned about as well was that there's been some political power moves that have been happening where one of the families in Restov has seemed to take control of some of the trade operation, and the prices have gone kind of crazy in Restov, so it's getting expensive to live there as well, which is another reason why they couldn't get any medicine or help, so they left Restov. So that's not good news for you guys who are traveling with money in your pockets trying to buy stuff, but that is the news.
Did they mention what family it is?
Let's see if they did. I don't think
Would
they
Sydney be able
will mention
to
that. No,
say?
they won't mention it.
Okay.
But you probably have a few ideas based on your own memory of Restov and some of the families that were aligned closely with the merchants and other influential houses of Restov. However, I think for this day, if you guys can consider those things, you'll be able to reach Novotkas crossing by horse, and the decision then will be about whether or not you're going to stay in Novotkas or stop before it to stay or stay after. So basically, I'll lay it out that you start to see Novotkas crossing maybe in the horizon a few miles away as the windstorm starts to die down a little bit, but it's still there. And you now can decide whether or not you're gonna, it's like dusk, getting close to dusk. So do you travel into town to stay into town? Do you choose to pass through, or something completely different?
It is an actual town, huh? Okay.
Yeah, it is. It's like a trade settlement.
I would vote staying, but that's whatever
Yeah,
you
I think
all
it's-
say.
If we
Bob.
go into town, we can ask about the farms, and we might actually be able to get a room to stay in, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
All right, so you all will head into town then, and you've been here before, you will head down towards the main bridge. Let's see if I can find it. All right, Novotkas Crossing. It is busy. One thing you might notice is that there are quite a few more folks in town right now. It seems to be almost like a few caravans that are parked as well, which explains how some of them got here. Why they're here isn't maybe exactly clear yet, but just from the immediate view, it looks a lot busier than it normally was. You remember the tavern that was along the main way here, and that they used to have, or at least had, an inn connected to the tavern, so that's something that you might try to use again. I think he struck up a conversation with the barkeep there last time. I can't remember his name at the moment, but that's neither here nor there. And then there's a market area here as well, where there's some craftsmen. There is one blacksmith as well in this town. And honestly, this town now might be like a similar size or maybe a little smaller than Stagfall in terms of what it has. But the population right now is filled with people, and it's busier than you've ever seen it here. So you guys ride into town, and where would you like to go? You're not stopped or greeted or anything as you ride in, and that's pretty usual. You don't remember there being much in the way of security here. It's a free trade outpost city.
Ben Warden's going to just take a quick turn through the market just to see if there happens to be any special arrows or bows, anything to that effect that might be for sale. Maybe there's a special craftsman or something like that that's traveling through. Or other weapons for that matter.
All right. Yeah, so you want to take a quick peek and see what the arrow selection looks like at the weaponsmiths and whatnot, so the Fletchers as well.
Ask them to, what are the very best things that you have? I want to see the level of your craftsmanship.
Okay. Yeah, so I think that you will find that there's a little bit of a selection here of arrows and a couple different kinds, different qualities, and I'll give you some of your best options as you piece through this. I think they're going to be probably steel-tipped arrows will be one of the things that you'll see. And one of the others that you'll see here are serrated arrows. Those are really used by trappers quite a bit to cause bleed out. Makes it easier for tracking, and so those are two of the ones that really stand out to you as probably things you didn't have back in Stagfall. Really good steel-tipped arrows and serrated arrows.
What are the steel-tipped arrows good for?
They're just good at puncturing armor.
Huh. Yeah.
But you haven't had to do a whole lot, thankfully.
No. Yeah, I'm interested in the serrated for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, what's the price? What are they giving?
Let's see. Price for... How about you make a diplomacy check, or what else is there? Isn't there another check for trade? Is it diplomacy?
Yeah, what is it?
Society works sometimes too.
Yeah, if you've got something else, feel free to try it. I'm open to ideas, but I think diplomacy is the standard, maybe. All right, the Fletcher will let these go for 2 silver each. So if you want 20 of these, I guess that's, was that 4 gold? Yeah, 4 gold for 20. Yeah.
4 gold for 20 of them. Okay, yeah, I'll take those. That'd be great.
Okay. All right, you got some serrated tipped arrows. And that will give you, yeah, if like when you do hit something, it will bleed out, and it will cause pluses to tracking, and it'll take persistent bleed damage.
Nice.
So 1d4 persistent bleed damage goes on with that.
Okay.
All right. The other vendors like that you see, I think though, as you're looking around, you seem to be pretty busy. And one of the things that maybe is getting a lot of attention in the market is the food. And you notice that there's a food market, like a farmer's market, where there's some arguments breaking out over some of the food. And a couple of the things that you might actually, let me see, because there's a couple of things you might or may not observe. So let's just do perception checks, and I'll determine how much of this you guys pick up from this while you're observing and trading. And so Fenwarden would. All right, so Fenwarden, you catch on mainly to an argument about the freshness of one of the vendor's meats, and that some people are accusing that vendor that their meat is spoiling and there's something wrong with it and it's off, and the vendor's arguing there's nothing wrong with it. And it's reached the point where he's having to kind of pack up and get his stuff out of there because people are pretty upset with him. And one of the other interactions that you observe as well that's happening behind this is that there's a guy selling dry rations, and it seems like the line to buy dry rations is huge. What are these dry rations? I don't know, but there's a huge line to buy these dry rations from this guy as well in the market. So those are a couple of dynamics that you observe as well throughout your quick jaunt through the market.
Could be that has a connection to the farms that are drying up. Or you might have a famine starting to come around.
Does Easton follow you all in town while you ride around? Is that the norm?
As long as there's no trouble, yeah, he'll be there. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say in these interactions, it's probably not much right now that it would cause.
Okay. Yeah. We should ask, Fenwarden will ask one of the people standing in line at the back of the line, why is it that you're willing to wait so long for these rations?
It's the only thing that doesn't make us bend over and get sick.
And so the meats are making
the
people
foods
sick?
all the foods are spoiled that we've been getting.
I see. Even all the foods from here, or
all the local farmers that, like, I think some of them, like, even would be standing in line. Like, you would see in line that some of these folks are farmers, and they would say that all my meat's spoiled, and another would say there's no crops to speak of this year.
Oh dear. Okay. Are there any of the elders around here that have any ideas why this is?
They might be drinking their sorrows away in the tavern, but I don't know that anyone knows. The fish isn't right either, one of you hear someone say.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah, they say to stay away from anything that's perishable is the general mood of the town folk.
Wow. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll thank him. And
at least the beer's still good, you hear one guy say.
The beer's still good. Great.
That's all Sydney needed to hear.
Yeah, I will thank the guy and give him a silver piece and say, buy some good beer. Thank you for the information.
All right. Nice. You made a friend in the market.
Yep. There you go. Okay, so, all right. You guys want to go to the tavern and listen to conversation?
One of the other things that all of you would have noticed this is that it does seem like that of the influx of people who are here, that probably a good bit of them seem to be Restovian, and they wear garb or something that gives them away or have that accent. So you definitely get the sense that there's an influx here from Restov.
Yeah.
But other areas as well. This is always like a good mixing pot place every time you've come through here. But way more Restovians here than you recall.
All right.
Anybody else have any market business to attend to or questions?
No, Sydney's gonna try and find a room or a place to stay, and she's gonna study some spells with some downtime.
Okay. Is everyone else ready to check in and find a room?
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
hope again.
So you guys remember that the way it goes here was that you would enter the tavern and see the barkeep, and that you'd kind of head down a hallway around the tavern to an inn. And so you guys will head to the tavern to do that, and you guys will walk in here, and it is just absolutely full of people, and not too many, no familiar faces. I would say the bartender doesn't even look familiar to you right now. So you're kind of like, scouring the faces to try to get a sense of who's here. And again, I think it's a lot of Restovians that you're noticing. Some traders, some trappers, huntsmen, those types are mixed in, but probably a little bit more of the city folk that you wouldn't necessarily think are in a trade town like this as much. So you come through, though, and make your way over to the side of the bar, and it's busy. People are you're having to wait in line behind people who are ordering drinks to get, and it seems like no one's eating anything in here, but everyone is drinking. And so it's got a little bit, it's kind of loud. People are talking loud and that kind of thing, but eventually, who is going to be the one to speak to the bartender on behalf of the barkeep on behalf of the group?
Not Sydney. Sydney's going to work around the room with Detect Magic and see if anything pings with the army of people.
All right. Okay.
And I'm also going to be watching to see if there's any good card games going on. I think Sydney's evening might have taken a real big turn.
A real sharp turn. Yeah, you might not need that room after all. So who wants to be the mouth of the group here?
Yeah, Rekla will go up to the bar.
Okay, all right. And you do get the attention of the barkeep, who all you've seen him doing is pouring drinks, right? So he looks at you. What are you getting?
2 glasses of wine, 2 meads, and 2 ales.
Coming right up. And then so he'll start pouring glasses and be laying them out 2 at a time on the counter, and he will ask for 2 gold.
I'll give him 3.
Wow, big spender. Let me know when you're ready for another round.
You've got a busy night, but keep an eye out for us.
All right, give a diplomacy check just to see how well he remembers you. All right. He definitely gives you a wink and a nod, and you seem to have found a little corner of the bar where maybe your eyes just peek over the edge to where you can get his attention very quickly, and so that works out for you. But perfect. You can hand out drinks, and I guess you all may squeeze into, maybe either stand by a barrel and use it as a table, or you could squeeze onto the end of a table and maybe stand around the end of one of the tables that has an opening, unless there's another plan.
No, that's fine. It's just nice to have a view of the bar.
Okay. So who's drinking wine, who's drinking mead, and who's drinking ale? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
All right. We have wine, mead, and ale.
Take some mead.
All right.
No, I think Fen Warden would be more of a wine kind of elf.
All right.
Yeah, Rekla will go with the ale.
Sydney will slam the ale and then grab a wine.
All right. So I guess a cheers is in order as you guys are sitting in a tavern. You don't even have a tavern in your town. So in some way, you have a very loose setup. You don't really have an established go-to tavern. So this might be on your mind. You haven't been at one of these in a while.
We can sit and brainstorm what kind of tavern we want in Stagfall.
Does Sydney detect anything magical in the room?
Yeah, hang on a second. Let me roll for that real quick.
One thing we can't have in our tavern in Stagfall is Sydney.
Yeah.
Our guests can't afford that kind of.
So Sydney, couple things. You would see that there's a card game in the corner that looks well attended. Yeah, pretty full table and people standing around watching it as well. So that's taken over the far back corner of the room. But when you're looking around, though, with your Detect Magic, a couple of things stand out to you that are glowing in the room. There is one gentleman seated at the bar who has a longsword that glows prominently as being magical. And there is a gentleman in the card game who wears a ring that is prominently magical as well. Those two things, like in your brief time scouring the area, stand out.
I think the card game has become eminently interesting to Sydney. And what kind of stakes are we talking about? Are they throwing coppers and silvers, or are they throwing golds? What?
It looks like it's silver, in the silver range mainly, so not a high roller table, so to speak, but not the bottom rung either.
Sydney's probably, unless the party is in a position to where they can watch what the table or watch the card game, Sydney will relocate herself to be able to observe the card game for probably at least 15 minutes before probably trying to join.
All right. So while Sydney's scanning the game and getting a view of the players and the place, what are the rest of you guys up to?
I think Rekla will be scanning the clientele, trying to get a read on who's coming through the town these days. Is it mostly locals? Does it seem like we've got traders rolling through? I'm sure it's a mix of all the above, but I guess he's most looking for the ones that stick out, that don't look like they necessarily belong in a place like this, aside from us.
Sure. Yeah, if you want to do, I guess we should do maybe a check here to see. Maybe it's just perception in this case.
Dallett would just be silently judging everyone.
They're all beneath you anyway. They have no idea a king is amongst them.
Dallett, have you decided what your title is? Are you the Grand Duchess?
I can feel my crown even if it's not there.
Yeah, I think that's right. You tucked it away, right? So you're not like making it a big deal right now. No one has really any idea that's in your bag.
Yeah.
All right. So for Rekla, as you are taking a look at the room, a couple of the people that stand out to you is there's a group of trappers, and they look like they are doing quite well for themselves. They're all wearing furs and seem to be well off, and they're having a little bit of a conversation. You can hear them having a conversation, and you kind of catch parts of it where it feels like they're talking about some of the safe places to hunt and to find food, and so they're really seem to be aware of where it's affecting and where it's not, and so they're bringing some fresh food in. Their groups are bringing some fresh food in, but that's it. Everything else that's coming from the farms and from the very near territory, it feels like a little bit west of here and all the way east of here seems to be affected by it. So there's pockets and places where you can still get stuff, but most of it is pretty rough.
Maybe Rekla might go up and approach and ask some more details, like try to find out when it started, where, like which region did it hit first? Did it travel quick, or has this been slowly happening?
How about we'll do a diplomacy check and see how they receive you, and then give you some more information.
Warden's going to listen in. He's got some training in farming, actually. So he's going to be
handy.
here. Yeah, some farming lore. And try to see if he picks up on anything that means something to him.
Yeah. So I think the table, you'll see that there's a couple of them that are fairly well accomplished, and then a couple that seem to be accompanying them, and what they're talking about mainly to you, I'm gonna put on the map, seems to be.
We're not seeing the map yet.
Yeah, I'll move you over here in a sec. So there we go. So this orange area is the affected area, and it seemed like in the northwestern corner of that. So really more from between that circle and Brevoy, the E in Brevoy is where they're saying like it was first noticed, one of the first places it was noticed, but it's now affects the waterways and the land in this whole. So I'll label that so we know what that is. All right. Drought. It's drought and disease, right? So that's what's being noticed. It's the combination of the two things, because people could shift to a different food group, but that seems to be that
Yeah.
they're getting wiped out, hit in both directions.
Yeah.
You didn't notice that in your lands, by the way. Stagfall and the area between Stagfall and before you got to
Yeah.
this region, it wasn't like that. The day when you encountered the sick, it wasn't like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Ugh. Okay.
I think they'll share more if you have other questions or things you want to learn from them, but that's the general gist of what you feel like they're saying on a map perspective.
I can't think of any other questions at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, then I think for Sydney, it's going to be then that you will notice that there are two people at the table that seem to have the big chips and the big coin piles. One of them is your friend with the ring, and then there's another person that's like a couple seats away from him that he also seems to have a pretty big stack of coins, seems well-to-do. I guess the game that they're playing or whatever, there's probably a total of 8 people playing, and those two seem to have the biggest pile of winnings visible.
The individual with the ring, just generally speaking, does he look like a merchant? Is he older, younger, race, like elf, human?
The one with the ring is, let's see, what is he? He's a human, and he seems to be like a younger Restovian. Probably not noble, but probably upper class.
Is he being social at the table, or is he super quiet?
Let's see.
And is he
He is being social. Yeah, he is. Yeah.
So Sydney is going to attempt to sit down at the table as soon as an opportunity. I don't know if there's a spot for a 9th, but if I have to wait for somebody to get up, I will immediately take that spot. And she's quick, so hopefully she'll beat somebody else.
Yeah, I think you'll probably be watching for a little while just because you came in at prime time, but you eventually could get yourself a seat if you wait long enough. You could see some people who are getting low and getting desperate, and so you watch it unfold, and eventually, again, this would probably be a little bit more time. So for the others, if there's things you wanted to do or inquire about, feel free to do that. But eventually a seat would open and you could file into a chair.
Yeah, I'll jump in. Would 50 silver put me at a reasonable stack compared to everybody else? Would that be a reasonable buy-in? 5 gold?
Yeah, I'd say that you'd be a little above average with something like that.
Yeah, that's what she's going to sit down with then.
Okay. Is there any deception or thievery going on as
Eventually,
you're here?
yes.
Okay.
But not immediately.
No, I didn't
Ease
think
into
right out of
that.
the gate. It was right out of the gate, but I guess you're trying to set it up, right? So
Yeah, absolutely. So
okay.
she's going to spend most of the time, I assume she knows the game. This is kind of her jam. She'll get into it and just kind of play the cards as they're coming and chill with it. She's going to spend a lot of time talking to everybody, being super social at the table. But she's going to put a special focus on old dude with the ring, and maybe even get a little flirty. But most importantly, she is going to probably get a little flirty at some point. But most importantly, she is going to use this in conjunction with this to attempt to charm him into basically being her friend.
Okay. Let's see. How do we?
It's a deception roll to hide the fact that I am casting a spell.
Okay,
and
versus
then
perception.
Also, the charm has its own hidden bits of.
Oh my
there's a
goodness, you
natural
rolled a 20 on the deception. I'll roll anyway just to see, but I did not roll a 20. So I think your deception will work on the cover. And then the spell is, let me see.
It's still, will 21 DC.
Will 21, okay.
But they will not know that they were being charmed unless they critical success it.
Okay, they did not critically succeed. Let's see.
If they fail, they become friendly, and if they critically fail, then they're helpful.
So it looks like as you try this, that you make eye contact with him for a moment, and he kind of looks like past you for a second, and then seems to continue on like unaffected.
Okay. Yeah. It really, the deception is just to avoid the
Being
thinking
seen.
that
Yeah.
I was casting any sort of spell at all. The success aspect of that.
Yeah.
So I totally understandable and expected. So I'm gonna spend the next hour or whatever
Gaming with him.
gaming.
Right? Yeah.
And I am going to try to be flirting him up a little bit and just being friendly towards him. Hopefully I'm winning, he's winning, we're all having a good time.
So go ahead and roll a d20, and I'm gonna roll d20s, and we're gonna see how like the first hour goes here.
Okay. Sounds good. And then if it starts going south, I'm gonna start cheating. But right now we'll play it straight up.
All right. So you and our friend with the ring seem to be raking it in here over the course of this hour. You guys are winning the vast majority of the hands, and seems to be concentrating on the two of you, the luck right now, as time goes by.
So she's gonna be living. If we're both winning, we're both having a good time. Hopefully, we're having a good time together.
Yeah, so you guys you do seem to be everyone seems to be is entertained by it, and nobody seems to be taking it too seriously at the moment. One of the things, cutting back to the group, one of the things that you guys overhear is, maybe as you're getting a refill, is that they're booked up. They're completely booked up, and there's no rooms available. But at some point, while you guys are sitting there waiting this out, you see some people come into the room from the hallway that connects to the inn, and it's two travelers that are kind of carrying another person that looks ill, and they say, "We're checking out early," and they stop by the bar real quick and then walk out. And so for a quick moment, it seems like a room has opened, albeit not for the best reason, but you guys kind of may want to jump on the room, or you might feel like you want to stay somewhere else. Those are maybe the thoughts going through your heads.
We'll grab it.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Leverage our friend, the barkeep, and say, "Oh, that's advantageous. We actually needed a room. You don't even have to ask anybody. We're right here."
All right, then I think just given the timeliness of it, he'll gladly turn the key over to you then and request, I think for the night with the rooms here, it is, what is it? 6 silver. All right, so you get your key and you are paid up for your room for the night as well. Anything else you guys want to get into while the game is going on in the corner and there's still a lot of folks in the tavern? Okay.
No, I think Reckless probably just enjoying the downtime, actually.
Yeah, you guys are like all leveled up.
Maybe keeping an eye on Sydney just to see how things pan out.
All right.
Good entertainment down here.
Go ahead and do a perception roll then. Let's see, where are we at too with, oh my goodness. How are you guys getting all these 20s?
Before she can do it.
Yeah, okay, so
she's palming the card. Okay, I see.
Not yet. No,
I know.
You're like,
in fact, if anything,
this is more like the commentary going on in Reckless' head as you're looking on Sydney right now is like, oh, she's playing it by the book a little while, suckering them in. I see her setting them up right now. Look at this. And I think though one of the things that you will notice with that roll, Rekla, is that there definitely seems to be a little bit of hijinks going on over at that table, and it seems like there's some signals going on that our friend is giving with the ring. He's you kind of pick up on the fact that the friend with the ring is giving off some kind of like some tells, and yeah, it might register with you that like something just looks kind of like something's weird. Like, why is this guy doing these weird motions and stuff?
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I said, that Sydney's winning, and nobody's like getting taken for their whole pile. It seems to be that seems to have much more fortune than the others for some reason.
Okay, interesting. I'll keep an eye on it.
Okay. I think then, given that, Sydney, if there's any moves you want to make in the game itself, you're welcome to try to
how
make
much
a
am
move.
I up right now?
So you would be up 1 hour in, and you rolled a 16. Let's see. You are up. Okay, you're up 3 gold total.
Okay, so I've almost doubled my stack then. I
Yeah.
started with
Yep.
5 and I'm at 8
Yep.
now. Am I now one of the tall stacks with you said there were 2 tall stacks, is that other one presumably is losing, so now is it me and dude that are two tall stacks?
You're the third stack. You're the third stack. And
Okay.
yeah, you're like a comfortable third stack.
Okay. I'm gonna start pushing it more aggressively, betting harder into it, and then I'm also going to start palming cards and
Yeah,
being
get
a little
okay,
sneaky.
All right. So all right, so that's where let's do the roll first and see how you did with your actual play, and then we'll decide to what extent you want to deceive them. So
Now
just
I'm
roll
specifically trying to drive people out of the game.
Okay. All right. If I roll any ones for them, those people are out of the game. And I did roll 1. So there is one person in that group of 7 who just got eliminated in the game. And let's see. Looks like
And then my roll for a thievery roll for
yeah,
to improve my roll.
I'd say that your luck kind of slowed down during this hour, and that you're just maybe just bleeding a little bit of coin, but not very much. But you're not gaining like you were that first hour. So it probably would be a good time for your deception here. So you got thievery.
I can roll a deception otherwise too.
Yeah, no, I think it's the same. Yeah, I think it's the same way. We'll take your thievery. All right, so
yeah, I don't remember, but I think thievery includes cheating at card games. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've been in the DMC on Pathfinder 2nd edition.
All right, so in this case, you do see that you have this opportunity to palm a card and help yourself out with a win, just to kind of get back on the winning side a little bit and take a big hand. You do flip the big card and use your palmed card to re-up here. So go ahead and roll another d20, and until you get something better than an 8. That's what we're gonna
Until I get something better than
yeah,
an 8?
until you get something better than an 8. Okay, there you go.
Another 16.
Perfect. Okay, perfect. So in this case, you're gonna swing pretty hard back to the other side and win a big pot here. This is gonna be a 2 gold pot that you just took in, and roll a perception check for Sydney. Rekla, you don't have to. Okay. So Rekla, you notice that someone at the table is giving a very suspicious eye and look to Sydney after that last big win hand. That they look like they're suspicious of Sydney. One of the people, not the guy with the not the guy who's winning. Not the guy who's winning. He doesn't seem to call it out.
Is he still winning too, by the way?
He's still winning. Yeah, he's still winning. But this other guy on the other corner who's not doing so hot, at some point his body language changed, and you didn't know this, Sydney, for your role, but everyone else seems to just be fine. But for whatever reason, this guy's body language changed to where, Rekla, you get that sense.
Can I see what he's drinking? The guy?
Yeah, with your roll, let's say what is he drinking? Let's say it looks like he's going to be drinking wine.
Right. Rekla would like to order 2 glasses of wine from the bartender. And he'll take both of those over towards the table.
All right. So Sydney, you're playing and Rekla go walking up with some glasses of wine.
She's gonna play it like she doesn't know it.
Yeah.
Rekka's not looking at the table. He's just like looking like he's going to be walking by it, right? And so he wants to walk near where the guy's sitting and just be like, I don't really need this second one, and set it down on the table and then just keep walking.
All right, I guess do a deception check on that, and let's see how well that is placed.
I'll give myself a little guidance for that.
All right.
Oh, 20?
All right, so
21.
Yeah, 21.
21. Yeah, I think like for a second he kind of turns. I didn't, or just grabs it and starts drinking it. So
Just
you bought yourself a moment.
take his mind off of it for a second.
Okay, so you've given him a new beverage to maybe distract him. All right.
So for this next hour, Sydney is she's going to take, so I've doubled my money. I've gone from 5 to 10. I'm going to take my original 5 out of there. So I'm just back down to 5. She's not going to hide that or anything. She's just going to do it. If anyone asks her, she's going to say, eliminate your risk, right? And be real clear about it. Maybe even giving away that she might be a little bit of a card shark or something. She's going to look at the other dude that's winning when she does that, the dude with the ring. But then she is going to get really aggressive with the last one and start acting like the drink is hitting her a little bit more. And she's just going to go to town with the 5. So that way I don't have to do any math and call money from here.
Yeah, sounds like diplomacy and deception to me. So let's do those checks and see how this rolls for you. All right, so the diplomacy was really trying to sell, taking money off the table. That doesn't go over too well. Get money off the table, right? It just seems to draw a very bad response from the folks that are there. However, the deceptive move that you make is a pretty good roll. So let's see if it causes any consternation. It's
just a drunk person enjoying being up money.
Yeah, go ahead and roll perception here. Rekla, you can roll again as well, and if anyone else is tuned in on this game. So yeah,
it's all part of the act.
Yeah, so you think it's all working beautifully, swimmingly. Rekla, you number one, you get the sense that your buddy, your wine buddy, it hasn't changed the fact that he is absolutely hawk-eyed on Sydney's hands, and that now it looks like there's another person at the table who's sitting in a different spot across that's similarly doing that, similarly looking very closely at what Sydney's doing, suspiciously at Sydney's actions. But in the process, Sydney, you did pull in another gold and 4 silver.
Okay.
During that last hour, but yeah, you've got the 2 people now that you see Rekla. Otherwise, everything seems to be going fine.
I feel like it's starting to get late. Is it starting to get late? Is the tavern starting to
It would have been, you would have been almost like 2.5 hours at that table. Yeah. So yeah, so it's probably at that point where it's thinning out a little bit in here. One of the funny things about this might be that every table's eating dry rations. Maybe just the traders are eating some jerkies or meats that they have with them, but everybody else, like many folks, are just pulling out and eating dry rations. And so you guys might be having to do the same thing as you're sitting in here, probably getting hungry as well. But do you press on and continue to play? There is a chair. There is another chair that opened up on the table. So there's 2 chairs open on the table if other people were trying to get in there, but otherwise, are you going to press your luck and play on, or cash out?
I'm going to very aggressively start betting at pots in an effort to try and double my money and drive people out of the game and end the game.
All right, so...
and I will also be yanking cards if I feel like I need to.
All right, so let's go ahead and roll again on your D20, and then you can decide if you want to...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think so. All right, so go ahead and roll your deception, and we'll see how you did.
Oh, sorry, deception.
No, that's fine. I think thievery is better. Thievery is better. I keep saying deception, but thievery is fine. So in this case, go ahead and roll your... You can just roll again, and we're going to add plus 10 to your roll.
13.
So 13. Believe it or not.
Damn.
Believe it or not, you drove another person off of the table in this last hour. There's only a handful of seats left, and it seems to be getting to a point where you are the big stack along with the other big stack as you rake in another, 2 gold and 3 silver over this hour, and then make a perception check for Rekla and Sydney again, please. And again, anyone else who's okay. So Rekla, you're pretty sure that 2 of the remaining 4 players are on edge and suspect Sydney of something, some fast play, and they seem to be eyeing each other up like they're going to do something about it.
They're like trying to
Dallett,
work each other up over.
yeah, Dallett, you probably noticed this across the room that there seems to be some little bit of a strange body language and posturing going on at the gaming table.
People
So,
unhappy around Sydney. It's a
Rekla,
common sight.
Rekla's got the front row. You pretty much know.
I've
that
been
this
tuned
thing's-
into this whole.
Yeah, you've been
whole-
following along.
all
So
the
do you
shit.
want to intervene in any way or give any signals to your ally about it or anything like that? Or watch on?
No, I think I'm just gonna continue to watch. She's,
I'm gonna be entertained.
Like a train wreck in slow mo.
yeah, I mean,
All right. Let's.
it could happen.
So it is getting late. So if there's anyone that is checking in to their room, you're free to do that. But for those of you that are sticking around in the tavern, you can go ahead and try again, Sydney, here to roll a d20 and see how you do
So,
versus these remaining 4.
Yeah, Sydney's strategy is going to change again a little bit. Not in response to that, it was already going to. I am very much going to increase the flirting towards dude with the inebriated state that I'm in and really just be selling in that direction. I'm at this point in time just having a good time, looking for a good time. And I don't know if dude's down for that, but that is the direction Sydney is going. She's actually going to play the rest of the cards pretty normal and not be cheating anymore.
Okay,
And,
all right. So go ahead and
she's
roll.
going to be avoiding losing
wow.
money too.
All right.
She's just kind of hanging in the game and really trying to work angle on dude. And
So-
dropping hints about the fact that there is not any rooms available and she needs a place to stay for the night.
So, all right. So a couple things happen here as this all comes to a head here at the table on the last big hand of the night. The couple of the 2 guys at the table who have been really upset, they get some big hands. And Sydney flips over her head and has the best card in the game, and they all start cursing and smacking the table. And the 2 guys who were looking suspicious before this both stand up and said, "You've been cheating all night." And the other one stands up and kind of has like his fists up like he's going to do something about it.
He's going to defend my honor?
It looks like, yeah, they're about to get in a brawl here, that the ring guy is going to fight the other guy for insinuating that you were cheating. And yeah, they start to fight right there in the corner.
I'm going to guidance on him.
Ian are on the floor,
Face.
and most of the other people. Go ahead.
Rekla and Dollar are like, ah!
Start working my way over there.
Yeah, so as you guys come over there, like you can see these 2 guys are like engaged in a full brawl, and Sydney and Rekla are kind of just standing back, but they're close enough to be involved. Does anyone try to get more involved in this, or do you just let it play out and dip out, or okay?
I'm letting this play out. He's defending my honor.
All right, so
Yeah.
let's see who
I'm
will.
encouraging him.
All right, get him.
And,
All right, I'm
and-
gonna have them
yeah.
roll to see. All right, so it looks like the guy who is angry gets one over on him here, connecting a hard shot, and then they fight pretty even for a while. They end up on the table, and then on the floor, and to a point where the guy who accused you of cheating is choking the guy with the ring on the ground below him.
I will turn around like I'm going to get with the bartender or get some help, and I will, as part of that, do the conceal spell again. But instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to elbow and flick a bottle, an empty bottle, right into the side of dude's skull, on top
All
of
right.
it with telekinetic projectile. So
Ooh.
hopefully nobody realizes that I casted a spell. But hopefully that bottle connects to the dude's head.
Just start a bar brawl.
So I'm going to around and I'm going to knock the bottle, but the bottle is clearly going to fly way harder than it should and just fucking clobber dude.
Yeah, I'll say this: you rolled a 2. You rolled a 2 on your attack roll for the bottle, So it's probably going to smash against the wall. Really hard, though. Just not. I don't think it's going to hit our guy here, unfortunately, unless you want to re-roll it or try something else after that.
No, I will get some help, help, he's being attacked, he's being attacked, he's being, and then I will do the full-on drunk girl thing where he's just whacking on his back or whatever. It's okay.
All right, let's see. So the fight does get separated before you have to go full crazy, and they do separate these guys, and they get kicked out, basically thrown out. Both of them get walked to the door.
I'm gonna go with dude who defended my honor that has the magic ring, and I'm gonna bring a drink with me, grab one off the bar or off the table on our way out the door, and I'm just gonna like praise on him about how awesome he is and thank you so much.
He'll just be like grabbing his throat, like, oh god.
And then I'll be like, here, drink, it'll feel better, and I'm just gonna
All right. All right. Yeah, I think like after the commotion, the bar, the tavern and the bar thin out to just a handful of folks. Most people retire to their bedrooms or leave to head to another place to stay. But that's probably a good spot for us to take a mid-session break as you guys are taking yours, and we'll come back and sort through where we're at. All right. All right. I think we're starting to file back in.
Okay.
All right, so I think just to move things forward and take us to the next morning, Sydney, I'm going to give you a roll to see if you are successful in trying to obtain said ring from target. So let's do a thievery roll. I can't hear you right now, but I think it'll be a thievery roll.
Let me work you through here. So
sorry, 1 second. It would help if I put my headphone on.
There you go.
Makes a
All right,
difference.
before you decide what the DC is, here is the strategy. She is going to, all through Conceal Spell, she is going to illusory creature herself. So that there's basically herself, and then she is going to go invisible. And she is going to create an illusory object of the ring while making the existing ring invisible. And then I am going to, while invisible myself, and while the illusory creature of myself is doing whatever they are doing behind the shroud, an invisible Sydney will attempt to take the invisible ring off of his hands. Does that make sense?
Yep, it makes sense. And basically you guys will leave the tavern anyway and head back to, I think he's going to have to be staying in a caravan at this point, but when you do head back there, you'll have the opportunity to execute that. And basically we'll just do a thievery roll against his perception I'll put a couple of modifiers on this based on what your strategy is here. But that's a damn good roll. Let's see if I can beat it. Probably not. No. So Sydney, you make off with the ring after the bait and switch here pretty quickly to where, actually, let me leave this up to you. Do you want a place to sleep and then execute this later in the middle of the night? Do you want to do this right away and be gone?
I am executing that during that evening while thinks he's in the act with the illusory creature.
So
I will sneak away after he passes out or some such.
Yeah.
As far as he's concerned, she disappeared in the night.
So you do head off into the night with a fancy new magic ring in your pocket.
Spectacular.
The rest of
What a
you
show.
Pretty exhausting.
What a show. I paid for a couple of drinks, but I got the show for free.
I didn't know this place had such good entertainment.
I know. You don't need a bard in a place like this.
I have no idea where Sydney is sleeping for the night. I'm not sure that she thought that far ahead. I expect that I do not recover my spells.
That is the question, though. What would you, if you're just going to sleep in an alley somewhere, then yeah, you'll have a little bit of a rough night, and at least you know that
I have a fly spell. I'll probably figure out a spot like in a tree or on a roof, someplace safe.
Does our room happen to have a window?
Yeah, your room will have a window.
Does it
For sure.
open?
Does the window open? Let's see. I'll just do a roll to see if it's. Yes, it opens.
Just stick my head out and pss, pss. Here, Sydney, here.
She would make her way back to the tavern and hopefully
Okay.
hear that at some point in time. I'm
Yeah,
still not going to regenerate my spells. She is definitely going to be tired after the evening that she's had.
That's fair. I think
I
that's a
expect
fair
we
way
are
to
well
go.
into late in the morning.
This was
3
a
a.m.
long, definitely a long plan, and it did work
And I need
out.
to
But
be
it's
good
a
to
late
ride
night.
the horses in the morning. So.
Yeah, it's a late night return, and you're definitely not going to be looking as much pep in your step in the morning. But you make it back, and you find the group, and you guys stay in the last room in the inn. Throughout the night, several of you, all of you, would hear some what would sound like some folks getting sick in adjacent rooms, like vomiting and the like. And during the night, every once in a while, there'll be some movement in the hallway, as it seems like people are coming and going from some of the other rooms. And you are kind of hearing more of that vomiting and sickness as you guys get your rest, though, and you reach morning.
Let's get out of here, man. This place is skeeving me out. Everybody's puking. Fights are breaking out.
Only so long till one.
You had something to do with one of those. All right. You do wake up, and before you leave your room, I'll let you guys discuss that. I imagine Rekla makes himself very clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that we're all a little creeped out. We'd like to get out of here. And we might get to Restov and find out that they can tell us something about this.
There you go.
Sydney's going to have a little hair of the dog that bit her in the morning before we head out.
All right. Yeah, I'm sure there's quite a few people already started when you get down there, because the food is no good, but the drink is fine. So the drink doesn't seem to be too upsetting, but let's see. Let's have you guys roll. Is everyone going to get something to drink, or are you guys just gonna
Yeah.
hang
Might
out
as
in
well
the
start
tavern?
day with some... No, actually, I don't want to hang out here.
Yeah, Sydney's
I'd
ready
like
to go. She's clearly hungover,
Yeah.
or tired, or both. But yeah, I'm good to go. We don't have to hang around for me.
Yeah,
All right. So,
ready to leave.
She's happy to take her drink on the road.
all right. So you guys are gonna put the vodkas behind you. Is there anything else in town you wanted to do before you left town here?
Nothing that can't be done better in Restov.
Yeah.
All right. So, let me see. I'm gonna just roll this check. You guys, as you're leaving town and you look back, you definitely see that there are some people wandering around town that look like they're looking for something. A little group of people, but you slip away and ride out early enough that you don't get a face-to-face encounter with them, and so you hit the road with hot pockets and full speed to Restov, right? So,
Yep.
all right, let's see what happens today. Let's see how the weather is, and we'll move us back to the map, and we are now moving through past Novotkas. There we go. And we're just doing rolls here for this stretch in between there and Restov.
I'm going to attempt to identify the ring during our travels. That's probably not good enough.
The good news for the farmers, though, is that the weather's changed and some rains rolled in. But the bad news for the travelers is that there's some thunderstorms. Probably not the safest, best thing to travel in. But yeah, you can spend some time looking at that ring. And I will, let's see, I'll send you this. You can check that out. But you do, throughout this day, have really low visibility. And every once in a while throughout the day, you seem to be passing some caravans from Restov heading now in your opposite direction. Several of those that you pass throughout this day in the rain. And if you guys would roll perception checks, I'll see if there's anything else you notice on your way. All right, so looks like it would have been Fenwarden and Sydney who would have potentially noticed that seems like there's a small grassy trail that leads off of the roadway at one point, and you see a couple of prints in the ground that look like kobold prints.
Hey, our friends.
Yeah,
So
I wonder what they're up
that's
to.
one of the things that you notice here. But otherwise, if you don't want to check it out further, you can continue to ride on in the rain to Restov. And let's see, what else was there? Just a few more caravans, basically, as you travel the rest of the day by horseback here and eventually reach Restov. So, see, at least, or Restov, I should say, in the distance. Where is it? I think it's like this one is the one we used before. And again, I think one of the things that would be different at this point is that it would look a little less lush and green even over here than it used to. Probably too far away though to really notice much else different. So is there any strategy or plan on or what is your plan once you do enter Restov? You know you will have to go through the gate and speak with guard at the gates. So that's one of the things you'll have to account for. But after you get through, are you just going straight to the lady's house or to a store or something different?
Yeah. I'll let the bosses decide. Sydney's just kind of here. She's been real quiet all day.
Her head is hurting.
Yeah, I think we'll reach out if she can take our audience right away. We'll do that. That's maybe priority just to catch up with her. But otherwise, we'll start gathering our things that we're looking for.
Okay. All right. Let's see. So then, as you approach the gates and it is still raining, you will be approached by, or you will have a entry point where there would be no line to get in. And you could come straight up to the guard, and the guard will do a survey of you as they normally do, and then walk to whoever is front and ask, "What is your business in Restov?"
We seek audience with Lady Jamandi and some commerce as well.
All right. And from where do you hail?
Valeriana.
So let's do a diplomacy check, please.
I'll give him guidance.
Yikes.
I'm gonna hero point that.
Yup.
Oh my
Whoa.
god.
Goodness gracious. Okay. From where? Where did you say you're from?
The newly founded Kingdom of Valeriana. Very new. I can understand why you haven't heard of it. It's, we're just a couple months old. It's
What is your name?
I am Rekla Ribble Pebble.
Then they'll look at Fenwarden next. What is your name?
Fed Warden of the Elven Lands.
They'll look at Dallett next. What is your name?
Dallett, ruler of Valeriana.
Oh, we're gonna need to roll a diplomacy check on that.
Oh, dang, we're gonna have to start coming up with a way to introduce the king.
I was thinking that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have all kinds of pomp and circumstance.
That was why I was pausing outside of town. I wasn't sure if you were gonna don the crown.
Oh, we
Yeah.
didn't even.
All right, so the diplomacy here for Dallett is you get some respect, Dallett. They put a little bit of respect on your ruler of. They seem to take notice of that statement. Lastly, what is your name? Looking at Sydney.
Sydney, I'm with them.
All right, you're gonna need diplomacy on that. You're just you're having a rough day, so we got to see how rough this comes across. Oh, see, it just makes sense. You're not on your A game today. You didn't get rest.
You've been so obsessed with this ring.
So they seem to wave the other three through, but Sydney, they want to have further word with you. So they will take you aside. There is a room at the entry, and they're gonna bring you into the room here for further questioning and before they'll release you into the city. So the others,
This is only gonna go well.
though, you guys they kind of turn their backs on you and expect you know where you're going, and nobody really last time when you came here, you remembered being escorted to the lady's manor by the city guard, and this time they just turn their back and go about their other business. So while Sydney's in there, what are the three of you on the street doing?
I want to look around, see if people are sick, see if this town also seem to be struggling. Is everybody gone? We saw all these people leaving. What's the general feel?
So you guys could do perception checks, and I'll give you some layers of information about what you observe at street level here. Let's see. All right. Yeah, one of the things, obviously, first thing is that this city seems to be pretty empty compared to what you remember. There are very few people moving about on the street level, and most of the people that you do see seem to be leaving town, because most of the other people that are still here don't seem to be doing much. So there's not a whole lot of trade going on. A lot of the shops seem to be closed up or the lights on and you're not sure if they're open, kind of thing. But after a while, you do see a priest who is standing on one of the street corners, and he is openly preaching out loud as people are leaving the town. And he will be saying that we can counter the decay. Just wait. Be patient. And Erastil will watch over you. And those types of blessings and things are happening. Meanwhile, Sydney, you get brought into a little room where you see what seems to be like a higher looking official who's seated, and they are working on some paperwork diligently as you sit and wait until finally they start a few questions out of nowhere, unprompted. From where do you hail?
Like this trip, or generally speaking? I'm just want to make sure that I'm answering the right question. I just came from Valeria.
Where were you born, girl? Do not talk in circles.
Bravoy.
You are from Bravoy. And what brings you to Restov?
I'm in the service of the king. Who's in the service of Lady Jumanji?
The king of what?
The king of Valeria, the dude that just went through the gate.
And what is your position to said king? They'll be chuckling
like a scout. Look around, help them make sure that they don't get ambushed. That sort of thing.
Scout. So you'll see him just rubbing his chin. Go ahead and do another diplomacy roll here.
Sydney's not so good at playing it straight.
Guess not.
Yeah, I'm gonna have some further questions for you, he says, and you will step out and there will be some other officials that will be talking amongst them, and you're kind of like in a red tape room right now while the others are still outside. And what are you guys up to now that you've seen some of the town?
How long has Sydney been in there?
Oh, I would say an hour.
Okay, cool. I'll see if I can find an official to talk to wherever they from the gate to be like, I'm the king of Valeriana. You have my scouts.
Okay, all right. You want to apply some pressure to the situation from the assert yourself as an authority here.
Lady Jumanji and need my companions with.
I like it. So let's try it. All right. So diplomacy.
Sydney,
right,
meanwhile, is happy to be out of the rain. She's got like her muddy boots kicked up on the table, and it's just like, God, I'm so glad I'm not.
Looking at her ring, like just completely, like the entire time looking at the ring.
No, the ring's on. The ring's on now.
Oh, okay, even better. So the attempt of diplomacy here from Dallett to the outer guards gets their attention. They do go inside and speak with the official in charge of the interrogation, and that official will step outside to address you directly, Dallett. And so he will stand out there. He will come out and say, "I understand you want us to release this girl to your guardianship."
She should have already been released.
Her answers didn't quite check out. What do you know of her?
I know that she is trustworthy and in my service.
And she will stay by your side during your time in Restov?
We'll take responsibility for that.
Very well. They will release her to your watch, to stay under your watch while present in Restov. And they will murmur amongst themselves as they release her reluctantly to you under his direction. My apologies for the inconvenience. If you do understand, security is paramount to a safe city.
I appreciate what you do. Thank you. And quickly move away.
All right.
Before Sydney can do anything else.
Before Sydney. So you guys.
Surprisingly little motivation to do anything. She just is accepting it as it goes. She's not even smug about the fact that she just got out. She's just all right.
So you guys, you are able to get now further into the streets of Restov and further away from the gate to at least see the town together. And Sydney, now you would get caught up on what they have already seen over the last hour or so as they've been waiting and watching and walking around. And what would you all be thinking at this point?
Probably heading to Lady Jamandi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
See what's
All right.
happening there before we do anything else.
Worst case, I know she has a warm bed and some beer.
There you go.
Yeah, that's fair. So you remember her grand estate. You all will make yourselves to the noble part of town and into the Aldori Manor. And as you approach it, it is well lit as it normally is. So it does seem to be occupied and thriving still, despite the fact that other things are going on in and around Restov. But you make your way to the door and knock on the big metal knocker on the door, and the servants will answer the door. And who will speak to the doorman?
I guess Rekla will announce the king's arrival. Now's time for some real formality.
There you go.
Okay. Do you want to try? Let's do a diplomacy to see how well your introduction is received or delivered at least.
Try to look very real.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think any kind of check you want to do to lean into. Yeah. Okay. Excellent. His Highness of Lord Dallett of Valeriana. I will let Lady Jamandi know right away. And so he opens the door for you. You guys are allowed entry into the manor. Let's see what else at this point. They will close the door behind you as you're just kind of waiting in the foyer. And let's see. I think they'll probably bring you to the Great Hall, which is where you all first met Lady Jamandi. When you come into the Great Hall, you'll remember they had the celebration of Valeriana was in this hall the last time you were here, and one I forget what they call him. He's like the Great Ranger. What is his name?
I believe the last time we were here, this was on fire.
Before
Excellent.
that, yeah. Before that, it was,
never
yeah.
mind.
Sorry, I'm just looking to see.
Yeah, Sydney's been here once already. I remember this scene.
Yeah, you were all here. And it was full of all kinds of folks who were celebrating your kingdom's founding. And
I think I
now
was
it's
off for one
empty.
of
It
those.
sits completely empty. And this is the Grand Ranger. This is what is his name? Karel. And Karel was someone you all had met amongst many other casts of characters the last time you were here. He's someone who serves Lady Jamandi, and he is a very knowledgeable ranger and hunter, and he is the one that actually greets you here when you come to the great room here, the great hall, and he'll say, "I see you have returned. It is good to see you, and and you have a new king." He's going to look across your faces, not knowing, I guess you haven't really, you don't have the crown, nothing obvious, right? There's nothing obvious that says who's the king here.
I'll step forward and say that the Council of Valeriana has chosen me to lead them.
It was well deserved, Dallett. I remember meeting you a while ago, and I knew that you had a great future ahead of you. But to be king is a lot of responsibility. And if there's anything that I may do to aid you, please let me know. But I regret to inform you that the lady is away currently, and she may not be returning for several days. However, you are welcome guests here in her manor, as I and many others are staying here currently. But I will let you rest. It seems as if you've had a long day looking at Sydney. And we'll get you some food served, and they will start to bring out some foods. These are safe to eat, he will say, casually, assuming that you know that something's going on. All of this food is safe. I've eaten it myself. And anything you don't eat, I'll probably eat. He says, get some rest, and I will be speaking with you later. With that, you all can get basically situated here in the manor. They will show you to probably the guest rooms you stayed the very first night you stayed here, all the way down the end of the wing. So it's a long walk between your dinner and your bed, but that's where you'll be set up. And in the meantime, you've got a few servants who will bring some food, and you'll be in this giant quiet hall basically by yourselves dining until later in the evening when he'll return.
Sydney begins directing the servants with a air of authority that makes it feel like she's probably done this before. But she will direct them to put together, she's eating a meal, put together another meal, bring it up to my room, and have a bath made ready.
Very good. Very good. They will definitely work on it. Actually, give me a diplomacy check. I'm just because you're just on a roll with diplomacy.
Yeah, I sure am. I sure
just want to see if everything you say right now is just rubbing everyone the wrong way today. It would make sense. It is. It's beautiful. The hell we will. The hell we will, the guy says. He walks away. He definitely get a stir amongst the nerve. Do you believe this? Like outrage. Like can't believe the nerve. Like walking in and out. They just kind of start to pick up the food and get it out of here, clear the table.
No, not this food. I'm eating this food. More food. Bring it to my room.
You suspect that there will be no bath ready, but the food was good nonetheless, and it doesn't taste tainted or anything crazy. You didn't really inspect it, but it passed the taste test, at least for now, and you're feeling fine. Nobody's having any ill effects, but with just the handful of you, Corel will return here, and you seem to have won over the staff. How may I assist you? Is there anything that I can get for you while you are here in town? Of course, it's going to be difficult for you to trade and see others. So if there's anything I may help facilitate, do let me know.
Yeah, what's going on? Do you have any knowledge of what is causing this?
I have my suspicions. The lady has asked me to keep them to myself for now until she returns with her findings. But there does seem to be something foul about. How far west did you notice it?
Not as far as Valeriana. You're not affected.
I see. But it maybe spreads your way. And there are some treatments that have seemed to work, but there are some other outcomes too that I need to mention to you. Several of the sick have died, and they've returned from the dead.
Oh, great.
Whatever this is seems to have some type of decaying and undead nature to it.
I think at this point in time, just a heads up, Jamie, I am still wearing that studded leather with the cult of the Ugathoa on it. Just a heads up in case that's
Oh, that's a fair point. Fair point.
Oh.
Honestly thought they were gonna search you when you were in there, and I was like, they're gonna find that Ergothoan stuff he's got.
Yeah, he was so close to
Over.
being fully, I think it was good that you intervened when you did, because it was not heading in the direction that you were going to get out of without being searched. So applying the pressure from the outside was probably the best thing, because there was probably no way to talk your way out of it at that point once you get the crit fail. But in this case, he does say to you that someone wants to do harm to Restov, no doubt. It is likely the work of Pataxians, ultimately, but through what agent, we do not know. And to what outcome and to what end this continues, we do not know. But we have reached a full-on panic, and I think you are safer here than you are on the streets of Restov, despite the lack of people. And I think he does reach into his pocket and pull out. He says, "I'd been meaning to send this to you, to Stag Fall, but I'd rather deliver it to you in person." And he will hand you guys this. If I can find the handout. Oh, there we go. It's this. So this is written by the Grand Ranger who works with Corel, and he says, "You esteemed defenders of the people and new regents of the stolen lands, as civilization comes to these wilds, you have distinguished yourselves in seeing to the safety of your people. Yet much danger remains. I invite you to attend a hunting trip to a particularly monster-infested reach on the banks of the Gudrun River, along with several other hunters and explorers of note." And it says that this would take place in 3 days, that the hunt will be starting. So this is basically near Tuskwater Lake, which is in the south of Valeriana. It's actually south of the south border of Valeriana is where this hunt is taking place. And the last thing it says is, "As your kingdom grows, integrating with neighbors on peaceful terms is important. And this event will not only give us all a chance to become friends, but to make the stolen lands a bit safer for us all. Yours in good trust, Grand Ranger Jamel Visser." So he says that the Grand Ranger invites you to join his hunt when you can and extends this to you. So that on the map would be pretty much south central of the center of Valeriana, below your southern border. By like one hex below your southern border is where he's talking about.
Or
Say
is
again?
it kind of like, can we even get there in 3 days, or is it kind of like open?
Not without some real haste, I think. Let's see. So on the map,
Because this dude isn't the Grand Ranger Jamil Visor. That's somebody else, right?
no, this guy is like his like right hand man. They're both senior rangers, but the one that's inviting you is the Grand Ranger. So he is, let's see, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're like 6 days away. Like,
Yeah. So
like
Sydney, none too politely, asks him how that's supposed to work.
I think that the hunt is something that's starting in 3 days, but it's supposed to be it's a paid for and supported campaign, so it's not going to end supposedly in the near future. So it's just starting in 3 days. So what you might consider doing is like sending word to Stagfall about it, right? So that your security knows like kind of what's going on or something like that, or you could assure them that we could send a patrol to make sure that the hunters, if they cross into Valeriana, that they are welcomed or something along those lines. But it occurs to you, you're not going to make it there in 3 days to be there for the beginning of it.
Okay.
All right, so given that you're kind of in
suggested,
quarantine
again,
here,
not very nice with my diplomacy, and I'm welcome to roll another single digit, but that maybe this was the kind of letter that he probably should have sent along and maybe not held on to, so that we had.
all right, definitely this is a diplomacy roll. Definitely,
Especially
you can't
considering
possibly.
the emissary was here no more than a week ago, right? You absolutely could have sent it.
Absolutely, that's for sure.
I don't
For
think you go
sure.
higher than a
Your
DM.
point is right. It's just like, how did the point come across?
Hey!
Yeah, I think in this case, it comes across at least enough that he knows that you intentionally called him out, but in a way that he accepts. You're right. You're not wrong. We've had other matters to attend to, and I am sorry for
she'll
this.
raise your glass and say, "Yeah, as we all have, understood." And
Cheers to that. Cheers to that. Ruling a kingdom, as you will find, is more complicated than our time allows. But yeah, I think he's gonna basically have drinks with you all and tell stories, as long as you want to sit around and do so. But outside of him, like, the servants never come back. The servants never come back in the room. You don't see them again.
Does he have any idea? Do you have any idea when Lady Jumanji will return?
It should be in the next day or two, according to her travel plans. I would expect her mid to late day tomorrow, if not early the following day.
Yeah, we're not going to make the hunting trip. That's too bad. But
Is there something that you need from the lady?
I want very much to hear what she is finding out about the source of this sickness.
Oh, as am I. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Any recommendations for merchants, for craftsmen, and what was the other thing? An apothecary?
Some of our merchants are hard to corner these days, but what is it that you're, other than the apothecary, is there any equipment needs that I could help you facilitate?
I was hoping to have some runes etched into my armor and weapons.
I see. Yes, I'll send word. I think we do have someone that can aid with this. And from the apothecary, what was it that you were seeking?
So many healing potions.
Okay. Fair enough. And so he will basically stand up and say, "It has been good to catch up with you, and I do hope that we will meet again outside of these halls someday and perhaps hunt together. In the meantime, I will send for some help to get your weapons and armor enhanced, and some medicine and healing, if whatever we can muster." So he will make his way out and try to gather what he can, while you guys are at this point thinking about retiring for the evening in your manor. So you guys can make your way to your rooms. And I think as you do that, actually, let me pull up the good old map of the wing. Man, it's been like 40 sessions since we had this map up.
The original map?
Yeah, this is the original. I still have the same tokens on here for when you were ambushed. This is. So here, I'm gonna bring all your tokens in here. 1 second.
Yeah, not great memories here. You worked out okay in the end.
Oh, what did you all task Varkas with when you... Oh, I guess he was spreading the word about the Kabold lands. Okay, all right. Am I missing Dallett here? Okay, I'm gonna drag you guys to the map. 1 second. Oh, there you go. Hopefully you can see now. Do you see the corpses here?
Yeah.
On the floor. This was where the party made a mess before you joined Sydney. They made a mess of things here. I'm gonna clear these bodies out. These are not decaying bodies. These are not decaying bodies.
I was like,
okay.
I don't think I've seen this one. I think that this predates even me.
So I'll put you guys I'll put the king into his own room. I'm just kidding. I'll probably put you guys all in the same room, but I think it's this one. This would be, if I'm not mistaken, let me see. What is your... Yeah, that would be your room. The same room, I believe, that you were all in originally when this all went down. So does anybody have anything else they wanted to do before night falls? And unfortunately, bath is not in the cards. Does not. You don't hear any running baths. You don't see any.
She's not even. She's very disappointed.
I will say this: there at the end of the hall, there is a garden. And the garden has some fresh water that you could bathe in if you truly wanted to.
Very disappointed, but too tired to care. Sydney is going to say, as we get into the room. That's almost certainly Cult of Ugathoa. But I know a guy we can talk to, and we can maybe figure something out about that. And then, without missing a beat, she's just gonna go into bed, or kick her shoes off, go into bed, and just roll the fuck over. And
Yeah,
gonna
so,
do,
A lot of diplomacy rolls there.
We're gonna
Um,
do shopping tomorrow.
Yeah.
We didn't have time to get to it.
yeah,
Waited
I think
for
they have to fetch the
customs
folks
and
for you
enforce
guys to buy stuff from. So they're going to do that, and the following day you're expecting to be able to do some trading, and then you're hoping that Lady Jamandi will return, and you'll be able to learn what she's learned. So if there's nothing else for this evening, then you guys could get your rest. If there's no watch order or anything, then we can just proceed to the morning, and you guys can get your replenishment and return whenever you're ready to the Great Hall. I think in the morning you'll finally hear some footsteps walking around as the servants are stirring, and one will come and check on you in the morning to let you know that there will be some breakfast served shortly. And for those of you that want to make your way to the Great Hall, you can do so.
absolutely, Sydney likes breakfast.
So you guys
He's
will
also
all-
much more pleasant with the servants and doesn't engage with them nearly as much. Not sure that will actually do anything to repair the relationship, but far less demanding on them.
That's very good. Yep. Yeah, we'll go down and see who's down there for breakfast.
All right, let's see. So, let's see. I'll move a few things around 1 second. All right, so when you make your way back to the Great Hall and into the dining area, you can hear some murmuring from before you even get there, like there's some conversation going on in there. And when you arrive, I'll move us over to this, if I can get your tokens lined up. 1, 2, 3. You return to the Great Hall here through this double set of double doors, and several groups of people sitting and talking and eating. And one of the faces that you see looks up from you from a nearby table, and it's none other than Tartuccio.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And he seems to be enjoying his meal sitting across from a dwarf and a human, and he sees you enter the area, and he says, "My lord," towards Dallett, "it is good to see you." And he will stand up, kind of like wiping his mouth off and like walking towards the door, kind of like curtsy, bowing, combination of on your way into the actual room. It's good to see you.
When we left, or in Stagfall.
Yeah, he was in
He left
Skyfall.
a day before we did, like that evening. We left in the morning, so he had half a day on us.
Yeah. And he'll motion for you guys to... we have a table set for you, my lord, and they've got like this prominent place set here for everyone except for Dallett, because they put Dallett up at the big table, and the rest of you have to go to the little table here. And Tartuccio will kind of pick up his plate and walk over and sit at your table now that you've been... that he's been like acknowledged, so he comes over as well. But yeah, you kind of get a small feast here, if you will, and you will kind of notice that people seem to be waiting around for you guys. Like most of the people in here were like sent here for you, and at some point, like when you're done eating, you will be approached by them. They will kind of notice that, and they will come up and say, "At your service, I was sent to help you etch some runes." And you'll see like he'll kind of pull out some tools and some things that he can share with you. "So what is it that you were hoping to do?" this gentleman will say to you. And Dallett, I don't know if you're going to stay at the big table, but if that gets your attention, they will approach you.
I'll go down to them.
Rekla will go with.
He's coming down to you. All right, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm interested in this as well. Yeah, runes would be nice. Yeah.
So the gentleman will pick up one of the tables here, and he will lay some runes out on the table on a cloth, and has quite a few of them. He says, "My shop's not doing too well right now, but so I'm eager to make your business. And
Does he have a slick rune?
let's see. What was it, the one you were saying?
Slick.
Slick.
Armor rune.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So he's got... Oh, that's an armor rune?
Yeah.
He's got resilient armor rune, which is a really expensive rune. Let's see, what else does he have? Striking runes, weapon potency rune, and let's see, armor runes. And then, yeah, armor potency, so +1 or +2 armor potency, resilience rune, or greater resilience. I don't think. So I'll type a list of the ones that he has in here, and you guys can ask about them. But some are pretty expensive. Some of them aren't going to really make sense to you because they don't have a name that is intuitive. But let me know if you have any questions about these.
Here, just in case anybody wants to have a reference, that should have all the runes that he has, except like the resilience. I think that's beyond our.
Yeah, and then resilient you probably can't use yet.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, so you're welcome to use whatever. So let me roll then. If you've got specific requests that are outside of this list, then for the slick, let me roll and see if he's got it. He does not.
Oh, how much? What would the cost be for the armor potency 2?
You have a good eye, sir. As he picks that one up and looks at it closely. That one, so it's armor potency 2.
Yeah, I think that's going to be beyond our abilities too.
That is an 11th level.
Yeah.
1,000 gold piece rune. The +1 is you can use the +1 armor rune, and those are 160 gold each. He has those for sale, and he can apply those as well. 60 for +1 to armor isn't bad. Resilience, I don't think you can use resilient yet. You're like a level away from being able to use that. And then shadow and glamored you can use. Those give pluses to stealth, and glamored gives you the ability to change your armor appearance. For those of you that have Urgathoan cultist armor on. So there's a few things there, hopefully. But if you have another request for another rune, ask it, and I'll roll to see if he has it. He didn't have the slick, but he could have something else if there's something else you like.
I'm good.
Okay.
Sydney will ask if there's anyone else that has magic items and scrolls and such.
Yeah, Rekla's still on the hunt for other items.
Okay.
I will ask for I'll just write it down actually.
I think I'm gonna pick up the weapon potency at least. That's not that big a deal.
Okay. Yeah, those are 35 gold and give you the +1. It's worth it. Okay. So he will sort of, as some of you are interested in his goods, he will be very obliging to you, but for the others who are not, you'll have to be approached by another vendor. One of the merchants that Tartuccio was actually sitting with when you walked in, he will be the one that will approach you with a small supply of items, and he is going to show you guys a couple of different things. He's got some rings, he's got gloves, he's got boots, he's got a cloak. So he's got several things. He's got some potions, healing potions. So we'll probably just go through one by one to see what you guys are looking for. But I've got a list of all of his stuff. So maybe I could just copy this into a handout. Let's see.
I think while you're doing that, I think by my math, the runes I would want would be about 250, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's right. Let's see.
Okay.
Okay. Let me know if you can see that.
Cool.
That will be your shopping list or shopping window shopping.
Ooh. Oh.
Huh. Invisibility potion. That's interesting.
Yeah. I'm gonna step away 1 second while you guys look at that. And if you want to start, if there's anything you're gonna buy, yeah, you can just type it in what you're gonna buy, and we'll add it up, figure it out.
Well, Fenwarden's going to grab that invisibility potion anyway. There's 1 to 2. I don't understand. Anyway, unless somebody else wanted that.
Oh, you can snag it.
Yeah.
As long as it's in somebody's inventory.
Do we still have some party money?
No, we distributed the party money. That's that money that we gave you.
Okay.
Just shy of the 300. Yeah, there was a little over 1,000.
Okay.
Actually, we have a couple other things we could potentially sell too.
Like,
but-
yeah, it definitely wasn't 3,000 and we cut you a smaller
No.
cut. It definitely wasn't.
I was hoping there's still a little money there somewhere.
They did leave Sydney in charge of it, just heads up.
I want the rest of my money.
No, I did do that on the up and up. That was Clayton doing that, not Sydney.
I figured out that Roll20 needs like a store handout. Then you guys can just click on the stuff you're buying, and it just puts it on your sheet.
Oh, that'd be excellent.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask the merchant if they're interested. This merchant, if they're interested in purchasing any items, or if they're only have them for sale. I heard supplies are in short supply.
They're buyers. They'll buy.
Okay. I will ask them if they are interested in any of these items here. The gold value is the value out of the handbook. So
Yeah.
probably less than that, or I don't know, maybe since prices are up. I'm not sure.
Wand of Shocking Grasp sounds like a gag wand.
At this point it is, because Sydney doesn't really want to get that close to people.
Yeah, fair.
And in fact, that's kind of what got her. She's gotten hosed a couple
It'd be
times.
funny if the ring of, or the wand of, I guess it'd be ring of shocking grasp. I was thinking about those
Yeah.
hand buzzer.
Oh yeah. I like that. I like that.
So
The handshake of shocking grasp.
Yeah.
they will take a look at these, and because you're in a situation where you've got several merchants that got called in and times are a little tough, you draw a little bit of interest, and so they actually start to bid up the prices a little bit. And overall, you think that you can sell everything for about 120 gold.
I will, before I agree to sell to anyone in particular, I will ask if anybody is capable of providing any of these items, because that could sway my decision if they want to make a barter.
No trade.
The
Yeah.
highest level item is a 6. I think it's a 6, 5, a 5, and I don't know what the vault breaker says.
I don't know if high or low is good there, but
Yeah. In this case, it's not so good. They don't seem to have anything other than the list I gave you that they can
Okay.
offer, unfortunately.
Oh, and then
They-
could we roll again for that scroll for that spell?
So I was gonna offer. This is the exact group that you want to make, where you want to make that learn spell roll, because somebody in this room will have that spell. So absolutely, that's just a DC 29 check. So you roll a D20 plus 17, and we can see if you beat DC 29, and you can learn.
20 plus 17. Can I add guidance to that?
Sure.
Okay, I will add guidance to that. I will re-roll. I will re-roll. I will use my hero point.
All right, so this is gonna be the reroll to try to learn this.
so what I'm learning is you should have the Bracers of Fortune.
I think, yeah.
There's been a lot of ones.
Doesn't it
I had
seem
some
like
good
it?
rolls in there early, but it has been a lot of ones.
I think the king has
There we go.
spoken. I think the king has
There we go.
spoken. The king has just issued you the bracelet. But yeah, that roll works a lot better. So yeah, you can add that to your spell list.
Okay, and then I will sell all of that. You said for 120.
Yep.
I see if I can get 125 out of somebody.
You can try diplomacy.
Yeah. Hey. It's back to them single digits.
Yeah, unfortunately though,
Yeah.
no, I think not. I don't think he'll
Yeah,
be
well,
able to
take her
talk them
120
out.
and be happy for it.
But they're offering 115 now.
I wouldn't blame them.
Yeah. All right.
So
I will
Fenwarden
put
would
that in
like
there
to
like
sell his potion of might, Chimera might. Chimera might.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you just want to sell it? Because if you trade your stuff, you guys could get a better. If you're trying to trade to get something from the place, it might be better than just to sell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Trade gives you more value than sale. But if you want to just sell it, I can tell you what they'll pay.
Well, yeah, let's see here.
I'll tell you how much kind of trade credit you could get out of it versus coin. So for the potion, it is. Oh wow! I'll tell you what, Joe. Roll a d20, please. Okay. So they will give you 50 gold in trade credit for it.
Damn.
Or if you want to sell it, they'll give you 30 gold.
You trade it straight up for that invisibility potion you wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I could just do that. I'll trade for the invisibility. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Yep,
Okay.
that fits in more.
All right.
Seeing how much that went for, I will offer to just sell mine for the 30 gold.
Okay. All right. So you can sell off your unneeded goods. If there's anything else anyone wants to try to sell up or buy up. Yeah, it's quite the little like private market here for the king and his men here in Restov. So
Actually,
anyone else
I'm gonna
picking
see if
anything?
one of them wants to make me an offer on this. I couldn't find it in the book. I don't know what it's worth. So this is as much of an appraise roll as it is an actual trying to sell. I have no idea what this is worth. That wand of Syrian ashes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's see.
I have no idea. That's sold.
So that
That's sold.
do you want to your trade price would be 60 and your sale price would be 35.
Hey, Jamie, I got a question on the potion of invisibility. It says level 4. Does that at 4th you can heighten the invisibility spell? So is that a heightened spell, potion of invisibility, or is it just?
No,
I'm not
I
sure
think
what
that's just the item level. I think it's just a potion of invisibility. It's a lesser potion of invisibility spell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
10 minutes. Got it.
Alrighty, you sold me, and I will offer that. You said it's 60 for trade.
Yeah.
I will offer that for trade towards that cloak of Elvenkind.
Okay, nice. Good taste. He will gladly make the trade. You're paying the difference in gold, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it the same person that was on that? Yeah, never mind. Yeah, you're good. Yep. I already did that transaction, so just a second. Let me get caught up. All right, so it was 60 you said was the trade value?
Yeah.
Okay.
60.
It was.
Yeah, so you got 280. You
280.
got to cover 280 and then
No
you had
problem.
cuz you had gotten some earlier.
Yeah, I already added that in.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that'll be a second transaction. 280 left would be.
What about Dallett? Are you interested in any of this?
I'll take those. Sorry, I was trying to think of my runes. I'll take the runes that I had listed, and then it says that they have plenty of lesser healing potions. What does that mean? Could I get 10 of them?
Give me a number for plenty. All right, I'll do
Could,
this.
could I get 10 of them?
Oh yeah, they definitely will have 10.
Okay.
How many that leaves for the others, I'm gonna roll to figure out. So let's do
Okay.
this. I'll do.
That was another part of my question.
So they have 27 total for sale. That's gonna be their full stock, and you could buy 10 of
Okay.
those. You've got it. You
I'll
got your
take-
10.
Yeah, 10 of them.
Lesser healing. Let's see, how much are these things? These are 3 gold pieces? Oh, yeah. Ben Warden's going to buy 5.
Oh, they're 12 gold pieces.
Oh, wait. What?
Okay.
MC. Oh, that's anti-plague. Sorry. Healing potion lesser 12. Ew. Yeah.
Should list those in my inventory.
I'll buy 4.
Rekla will
4.
buy 3.
Okay, so 17, 4, 3, that leaves 10. Okay. The vendors are quite happy they came this morning.
Yeah.
I told you it wouldn't be a waste of time.
Oh, do they need my armor or equipment for any amount of time?
Yeah, they do. They have to insert the runes in it for you. It's not a long process, I don't think. Let's see.
Okay. I was just noting in case we get into combat or anything.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So, does anyone else have any questions or anything else they wanted to do with the vendors, as they'll start to be packing up at this point. It is a full day to apply the rune. Yeah. By the way, so anything that you guys are runing, you'll have to submit to the process here.
Rick will also get 2 of the restoration scrolls and 1 remove disease scroll.
Excellent choice, sir. Given the times, I agree, and they will gladly sell you those, the scroll and the potion. All right. So they do kind of, several of these folks again are like, pleased to meet you. One of the things you kind of see, Tartuccio steers the conversation towards like trade agreements. And as you guys are wrapping things up, he kind of brings up some business, like to the effect that Stagfall would benefit greatly from your wares. If you should set up a store there, we would give you some property to do so or something. Like he starts to kind of get bold, where he's like inviting these merchants to Stagfall. And does anybody insert themselves into that at all? Opposed or for or against, or just neutral to it?
I think
your time may be better spent getting us a tavern.
Is that an order from the king? Looking at the king, do we have an order to get a tavern built?
Why not both? He can have an invitation and we get a tavern.
Fair enough. All right. The merchants like that, and now that they know that you are all a part of the royalty of Valeriana, they definitely start slipping you some, whatever the appropriate version of a business card might be, a coin with their face or a piece of leather with their logo or something to that effect. You guys kind of get some swag here from them, and they seem interested in the idea, but right now everybody's sort of just waiting to see what happens here, and so they do adjourn themselves and thank you for the business. Let me move a couple of these out of here.
Excellent.
All right. There are a few lingering folk that kind of hang out and remain. They seem to have some interest in what's happening here today in Lady Jamandi returning or otherwise. And Tartuccio and the 2 merchants he was sitting with, they seem to linger around as well. Is there anything else you guys wanted to try to do today other than wait around for the lady?
No.
All right.
Yeah, I want to go talk to my employer dude and talk to him about the cult of the Ugathoan and make introductions with the party, assuming that he would be comfortable with that kind of thing.
All right. So you want to step out to do that solo, or you're gonna get the?
I guess what is my experience with him such that would he feel comfortable if I brought allies to talk to him, or was it really like on the DL such that he would be uncomfortable that I brought people to?
I think he would understand if you used them for cover personally, but like he wouldn't have any need to meet them.
Okay.
And he would prefer not to meet them, I guess. He prefers them not to know. He doesn't want to know them, and vice versa.
Given that, then I guess I will take the opportunity to tell the party what's up and where I'm going, and let them know that I am speaking to somebody who is well aware of like the Ugathoan cult and probably has some information that could help us with both the plague trees and, quite honestly, what's happening here in Restov. And I will ask the party if they want to join me on said conversation and if they want an introduction, or if they want me to just feel it out and see what's up. And I will let them know that he probably will not be excited to meet them, but I'm willing to. It's whatever you want, boss.
Fenwarden would like to go along with that. He's fine with keeping his mouth shut most of the time.
I'll stay behind.
Yeah, we
It
don't want to
doesn't
bring
seem
you.
like a
along, and we will leave Dallett to do his courtly duties here,
There you go.
and we will go discuss with Dude
Okay.
and see what's up.
All right. So I missed that last bit of who else was going, or if it was
It is
Dallett.
me,
Everyone but
Rekla,
Dallett.
and
Everyone but
Fenwarden,
Dallett. Okay. So everyone but Dallett. Okay.
and we're gonna leave Easton behind,
And
because
Easton
I
Dallett.
suspect he won't like a giant cat hanging out.
That
All right.
might set things up.
Or I guess I will request that Fenwarden leave Easton behind. I assume that will be honored.
Yeah. Easton will hang out with Dallett. It's a kingly thing to have a big cat at your feet.
Absolutely. I think that's a power move for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So the streets of Restov. We are on the streets here. So let me move you guys over to a different look. What is the plan, I guess, then, as the three of you are going to leave the mansion and the manor? Are you trying to take an evasive route? Are you making a direct route? Or is there something
Yeah,
else?
evasive, very evasive. In fact, I have, or what is it? It's shared invisibility. And at some point in time, that'll probably go off to throw off anybody that is following us. We won't show up invisible. We
Well,
will be.
Here's the speaking of that piece of it, right? So when you get to leave the manor, it seems as if you're being discouraged from leaving on your own, and that if you should leave on your own, that you should take a patrol with you. So, in other words, the patrol kind of assumes that they're going to be going with you, unless you tell them not to, or unless you evade them.
See. They want us to be accompanied by a contingent if we're leaving the
Yeah,
ground.
that's fine. I'm not going to argue with him. Unless Fenwarden or Rekla decide to argue, I'm not going to argue.
No, as long as you're cool with it.
Okay, so you'll have, it'll be like, being followed by the authorities a little bit, but all right, so I'll move behind you. There is going to be this guy following you, and you begin to make your way, Sydney, on your evasive trail. Do you want to try to lose the guard during this evasive trail
absolutely.
as well? Okay,
Yeah, absolutely.
just want to make sure.
No questions asked.
Ask.
Like-
I know what I would do, but I still have to ask. All right.
We are going to turn a corner and be gone. The plan has not changed.
Just
Slightly
we'll
more-
actually have somebody to be like, oh,
Yeah.
what happened?
Okay, so I do have my guard now, and we'll go ahead and do a roll for this, and you will lead the way as the others follow. I don't know how they keep up with you, so I assume that you have to turn around and wait, but eventually you get to a point where you can try to lose this guard.
Yep.
And
And then
do
I will
your
also,
move.
when I do that, since I was able to get a rest, I will use illusory creature to make a Rekla walking down another alley. Like when we turn the corner and do the shared invisibility and go invisible, and he's standing there, he's gonna see a Rekla.
Yeah, you guys
Going in a
will be
different
like
direction.
going this way,
Like turning another
invisible.
corner. Yeah, exactly.
He'll be looking at Rekla down here. You guys are invisible down here. Okay. Perfect. It does seem to work, and it does throw your guard off of you, so you are able to get yourselves clear and into the streets. Now that you're in the streets, you do kind of see every, I don't know, couple blocks, every 2 blocks or so, it seems like there's a guard stationed, which you don't recall it being like that before. So maybe they're on a little bit more of a lockdown, is what you're starting to think.
Given this, now that we are invisible, I am going to do my utmost to make sure that we get to our destination before the 10 minutes is over, including casting this on Fenwarden and then using the wizard recall spell to cast it again on Reckless. Cover some time.
Okay. Yeah, that must. You guys feel like Sydney for a little while, for a minute, literally a minute.
But we cover
not-
some time.
We didn't try to conceal our spells, so we don't know what it's like to be Sydney.
All right, so you are able to retrace then. I think this will just do a, let's see, what do we want to do for probably deception? Yeah, deception. Beautiful. So you find
Guy.
a way to get yourselves through everything, past all the guards, really never noticed, and finally to the building where your contact is, Sydney, where you've met them in the past and you expect them to be. So do you want to leave these folks out here or bring them in, or what's the plan there?
I am going to bring them in with me,
Okay.
but have them wait in the lobby until I can talk to him first, or in a front room. Just hang out just inside the door for a second. Let me talk to him real quick.
All right. So, yeah, you get to the door, and typically you know that the door is going to be open. There's a foyer inside, and inside of there's a couple of different doors, and you know the way. So you leave them in the foyer, and you head in to meet your contact. And yeah, that's where you'll find that they are indeed here, but they were not expecting you.
I will tell him apologies for the sudden intrusion. I have been waylaid in now Valeria. That's the name of the new nation. But I will fill him in on all of my mission. I don't know. I had sent a letter at some point in time, but I don't know if he ever got it. But basically, fill him in on literally everything that has happened. The quick version, since I got scooped up in the necromancer thing. I got captured. These guys saved me. I'm now in their employ, doing what I'm doing. I'm gonna show off. I got the Ugathoan armor, and I've got some Ugathoan daggers, the cup. Just show them some stuff real quick, and then let them know that those two are in the lobby and have a lot of questions, because we're definitely dealing with what appears to be very similar issues to what Restov is dealing with in terms of the decay. And I'll describe the forest and stuff, and say that we could really use some help. We could really use his expertise.
So give me a diplomacy check. It is your contact. Okay, goodness gracious, though. That's crazy. It's just more, in this case, it's not like he's not going to help you, but he says this isn't a plague that we're dealing
Yeah,
with.
it's the cult of Ugathoa.
Yeah,
Almost certainly.
He says you're indeed right. It is by design. It is not by chance. And he's going to mention, I don't know if you mentioned any names in your communication, Sydney? Any of the, other than Urgathoa, did you name specifically?
I didn't then, because I didn't have him when I originally sent
Okay,
that
okay.
first note. But now I would, and I would let him know about Xandros and the King of Thorns. And
yes, that is the one that's going to get his attention, is when you mention the King of Thorns, and he's going to say Daravan. Daravan is the King of Thorns, and he is responsible for this. In fact, all of my information leads me to believe that he has brought about the bloom, this monstrous bloom, which is a rot and a disease that occupies living flesh and slowly converts it into that of an undead being. And
is there any way to stop it, or any way to at least slow it?
There must be a origin where this has been released into our area, and that would be something worth investigating, but I have no intel on where that is specifically.
I ask him if he thinks this is at all related to Lord Varin of Pentax or the Black Tears of House Sertova.
I always suspect the Pitaxians, so I can't rule them out. But more on this plague, it is deeper than we realize. It is in the seeds. It is in the harvest. There is no safe matter in this area from it. So we must, at some point, counter this effect or root it out.
Are the seeds everywhere, or the seeds being distributed out of the granary?
There's some place that they are producing these seeds. They're likely in our territory. I doubt that they are bringing them from far away. It seems that it wouldn't be as sustainable and widespread if they were bringing it in from far away. I fear that they've got a bloom rot somewhere located in our region.
I described the tree, the plague tree that we ran into. Would that be the source of a bloom rot?
That very well could be. That very well could be. But I know not what this evil does. We have not tracked it to that extent yet. I know others, including your lady Jamandi. She, I believe, is looking into this from a different angle as we speak. But she will not find Daravan, and with any luck, though, she will start to figure it out, and the powers that be here in Restov will start to adopt some different policies. But I would say till then, it's Daravan's the one with the upper hand right now.
And what's the cult that he leads? So we have the cult of Ugathoa, but is there another cult, or is it the same cult?
I believe it's not. His is the. Let me look his up real quick. No, okay. Lamashtu is the name. I forgot that, but you guys wouldn't be the first time you've heard that.
Yeah.
You all know everything he's telling you right now is something you knew back in the tower, the murder tube, when you heard Daravan speaking, or you heard Xandros speaking about Daravan. And,
yeah, we just didn't have a name.
Lamashtu and Urgathoa had made a pact. So the Urgathoans and the Lamashtu are allied, and they seem to be either in alliance with Pitax or in alliance with the trolls, and or both. So Lamashtu is Daravan is their leader.
I am going to hand dude.
If anyone wants to do a religion check too, I can give you more information about the bloom and or if you want to do nature, something like that would be fine. Okay. So
I got a magical Ugathoan cup and a magical Ugathoan holy symbol and a +1 Ugathoan ritual. I'm going to offer them up so he can check them out and see if he knows anything about them. I have yet been unable to ascertain their purposes or what they do, which is odd because Sydney normally knows what's going on.
So yeah, this is, I think, this revelation that there's this pact between Lamashtu and Urgathoa is the thing that you two agree on, obviously. But I think the other thing that he'll look at the artifacts that you have, the Urgathoan stuff that you have, and he'll say that wherever this rot comes from, it needs to be rooted out. And with the roles that you guys have here, I'm having these guys roll, even though I guess they're in the foyer.
I'll relay this and ask them if they want to.
At some point, you can run back and forth or whatever and let them know.
I figured when I gave them the items to take a look at, I didn't know if they were in the room or not. I will take an opportunity while he's looking at the items to go talk to the rest of the group and let them know, and then ask them if they have any questions they want me to ask, and let them know that he wants to maintain his anonymity so they can't see his face.
And explains to them what he learned. But I think given the roles you guys made, this is where I'll catch you guys up into this, is those of you who passed this role, Dallett, Fen Warden, you guys know that this would have been, there's a ritual very likely that's responsible for where this all started, and until that gets interrupted, this will keep spreading. This will, the borders of this infestation will continue to spread until something disrupts the origin ritual. So that's the religious aspect of it that you guys suspect.
Ben Warden, Rekla, you guys got any questions you want me to ask him real quick?
Just, does he know of, is there a skill, is there a way to find out where the ritual is coming from? Is there someone or something that would be able to track it?
And I will relay that. Tell him I know he said the seeds, and we'll definitely lead on that. But is there any other way that we have some skilled trackers, but we're not exactly sure how we could track?
I think the first part of that question will be would be that you would need some priests to help you find the evil, or some means to help you locate the evil. This is definitely on the spectrum of evil. It would lead you in the direction of the rot. And I think in order to find it and locate it, you're going to need to find someone that has the ability to detect evil so that they can lead you towards its origin. And then for the second part, you're just talking about like how to disrupt it. It's probably, there might be an object there, or there might be an actual placement of objects that could be disturbed to stop it, or you may find something else there that's powering the rot. But it's certainly one of those things where all of the priests and clerics in the vicinity are being consulted about this, and you guys would need the same thing.
Cool. I will ask him if he has any resources that he can offer to the thing, and I will, or ask him if he wants to purchase the Ugathoan relics and stuff that I have collected in my journey. I've got quite the little pile. Oh, except that potion of Chimera that got sold.
Yeah, I think he would gladly hand over 200 gold for your pile of Ugathoan relics here. So he will hand you a bag of coin and say, if you should find more of these, send me word of what you do find. And as far as resources, he does describe to you that he has several spies in and about in the northern reaches of Bravoy. So if you need help or contacts along the way, like to help guide or show you around in the middle of Bravoy, he does have some contacts to share with you. So that seems like the extent of what he's offering at the moment as far as resources.
Okay.
In fact, he tells you a name of someone to seek out if you end up in the north central reaches of Bravoy, and he's going to give you a name of somebody to...
What's his name, by the way? I assume I already knew it, but just for my notes.
Let's see. So, well, the name, let me give you the name, his name first. This is Caladrin. That is your contact. And the name of the person that he tells you to seek out is Markle. And Markle is supposedly like a halfling. That might help you find them.
Yep.
But that's pretty much the extent. I think if giving other updates, obviously, about what's happening in your kingdom and things you've learned and whatnot, but Caladrin will say, you're doing well, Sydney, and should you need anything else, send word.
And for. Yeah.
And you guys can make your way back out to the group, and you guys can, I guess...
Yeah, I'll give them one more opportunity to ask. I'll fill them in. I'll let them know about Markle. What's his name? Markle the Halfling?
Yeah.
Markle.
In northwestern Bravoy, what was that?
Yep.
Northern Bravoy.
Yep, northern. So, yeah, you guys hear about the halfling, and you learn a little bit more that I guess what you've learned is that many of the religious leaders have been consulted about this, and it's believed to be a rot that's caused by something very evil, and many people are trying to hone in on where that is specifically, but it continues to grow, unfortunately, in the meantime. The streets, though, again, mostly empty, few guards sitting every other street corner. However, you guys can make your way back pretty easily, given what you've done and what you're trying to do. Are you going straight back, or are you doing anything else on the way?
I don't know.
I got nothing else to do.
Before
No,
we
I
leave.
think
The king?
I think we just need to see what Lady Jumanji can feed us.
I will say that it might occur to the king at this point that he has let Sydney out of his sight, and is responsible for Sydney's actions. So it's probably getting maybe a little bit fidgety in the manor.
Yeah.
But outside of that, you guys can return to the manor, and unless you're trying to do anything else, you're able to get back into the manor, appear at the door, and ask for entry, and play dumb that you don't know what happened to the guy that was following you, and get yourselves
Absolutely.
back inside and start to talk again amongst yourselves. And I know we're coming up to the end here, so I'll give you guys a chance to discuss anything that you're thinking about for next session. Or
Jamie, before we move totally on to planning out next session, is there anybody like a runner or the people that were like helping us get supplies and stuff like that? Sydney's going to try and seek out one of I know the merchants have gone, but is there a servant or something? I am specifically looking for a level 1 wand, a wand of detect alignment, and I am willing to offer 100 gold. Normally they're like 60. But I am willing to offer 100 gold if they can find it and get it to me.
okay, all right, you want to put word out that it's all right? Detect alignment, you'll pay 100 gold.
It's normally a 60, yeah, and I am offering 100 gold if somebody can get me a wand of that.
All right, I got you. So they will start to do that. They will snap into gear for that said prize of 40 gold profit and start to look for that. So we'll pick up on that and see what they found out in the next session. Was there anything else anyone wanted to do as far as you do have services like sending messages if you wanted to send word to back home or elsewhere? You do have that ability as well. Any thoughts?
I think Fenwarden does feel like he needs to do some sort of hosting for the Master Ranger, so he will send word that they should be treated well. And assuming our food is good there, that they should be fed well as they pass through Valeriana.
All right.
The hunting party, that is.
Okay. So yeah, you can ask that somebody try to make contact and extend greetings and whatever aid they may be able to give them, whether it's just giving them some guidance on the area or whatnot.
Yeah, and the other I want them to make note of their coming and going. I want to know when they came through, and mostly I want to know if they came back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the other thing we didn't touch on is that when you guys returned to the manor, you were expecting the lady could have possibly returned by now, and she doesn't. You're going to have to wait that additional night to wait for her, so you guys will get one more night of cozy comfort here in the mansion, hopefully before she returns. So if there's anything else there, but that's where we'll leave off, is you all going to bed on this final night, hoping you're going to see her early the next day or figure out what the hell's going on. But you took care of a lot of stuff. You made it in and got a lot of information. So hopefully you're piecing together some ideas on what you might do next. But that's it.
Alright.
I am going to use the extra time to study some scrolls and trying to add them to my
Okay.
spellbook. I'm going to go with the spell magic and translate.
Perfect.
Yeah. And I think that those are both 26s, and I will use guidance on both of them because they each take 2 hours.
Gotcha.
Fenward would like, he's going to put out, Gordon will put out a request to say,
Wow.
he'd like to know if there are any formulas for traps.
For traps? Yeah, you want to learn like different kinds of traps.
The
Yeah.
snares required, they're like kind of like spells. You have to have knowledge of how to build them.
I think that's probably a good spot to leave off. Is Corell is the ranger, and in fact, it's his father who is the one that's hunting in your territory, and so Corell would be like the perfect person to have that conversation about and share stories about different traps and snares that work. And
Perfect.
I think if you share with him that you bought those serrated, it's like maybe you have that conversation and he's like, if you had a serrated arrow, I could show you a really good one. And you're like, you mean like these? And you like pull a bunch out that you just bought in Novotkas Crossing. That's kind of some of the conversation that you can have, Fenwarden, while you're laid up here in the mansion waiting for the lady to return. What about Rekla and Dallett? Anything you guys want to be doing or word you want to be sending in this time?
Teach somebody out to spar, and that's about it.
Okay. That's fair. Anything, Rekla, you want to...
No, I got nothing.
All right. Thanks, guys, for playing. It was fun. We'll do it again in 2 weeks. So Have a good one.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.